Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's dustinkreis, and today we are going to do kind of a different kind of video. This is what I'm going to be working on for a little while. It's going to be kind of a slow process. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it, just kind of spitballing as I go. But finally got my package from Amazon after 3 days of haranguing with UPS, and finally got my first Gundam in quite a while. I used to buy these things all the time, and I was actually looking into a perfect grade, but I got kind of sticker shock and decided to go with a real grade for the RX-78-2 since I'm watching the old school original Gundam right now. And essentially what these are, these came out not that long ago. I don't know if there's a date on here or not when this thing first came out. But this was the first Gundam in the real grade line, and basically what these are high grade sized Gundams, but with the detailing of like a perfect grade. And here you can see, much like a perfect grade, you have to build this the internal skeleton of the Gundam first, and then you attach all the armor onto it instead of it being just like how the high grades were, which is just kind of a, a little bit of attachment here and there, but mostly I believe they were hollow, if I remember correctly. But really looking forward into getting into this. Really, I've been a big fan of Gundam way back in the day, and Gundam Wing was my first Gundam series, and then they brought out the original series, of course, and I think G Gundam came out after that. I might have the order wrong. Maybe G Gundam came out right after Wing. I can't really remember, but I do remember Endless Waltz, the movie sequel to Gundam Wing, being my first DVD ever. So, in fact, being really excited to get the PlayStation 2 so I could watch Endless Waltz on DVD. But anyway, just for this early first part of the video here, I don't know if I'm going to do this as like a complete, like just film myself building these things, because they do get a little frustrating at times, and I don't want to sit here and just curse like crazy. But I figured we'd do a little unboxing of the RX-78. Maybe I will show you the progress as it goes in this video. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this quite yet. But there's the gorgeous cover of that box. I mean, that is just beautiful. Then of course I showed you this, the different poses, and sort of the different runners and different things you can do with it. The core fighter there, and the wee little tiny figure of Amuro. The back is just black, and the sides are just repeats of the box art, the front box art. So we'll take that off, and along the side here it kind of has advertisements for the other levels. You have the master grade, the perfect grade, and on the back you have the high grade, which I think I do have a high grade of this one, and you have the super deformed ones. And I do have a master grade of the RX-78-3, the one that has like the gunmetal and purple color to it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into these, and I'm very happy just looking at these runners here for the reds, because sometimes the reds are very bright red and the yellows are very bright yellow, and while some people really like that anime look to it, I kind of prefer a realistic look, and that was kind of what got me excited about the real grades, was that they have a very sort of muted color scheme. They're not as bright as the other ones. But as you can see here, I mean, just a lot of little pieces. I was actually thinking I was going to have to paint this, but it looks like the colors are right where I wanted them to be. And I was kind of hoping that I'd have to do a little bit of painting. But as you can see here, I mean, even more runners. I have like 3, 4, 5 bags of runners, and most of them have 2 runners each. So that's, I mean, that's a lot of runners for a little 144 scale Gundam. Now I heard that this book is pretty amazing, the instructions, and that's part of the appeal of these Gundams, is that you get, well, they're not in full color, they're black and white, and in Japanese. They're very, very easy to follow. They tell you exactly how to put the kits together. I'm really looking forward to getting into this. Kind of shows you all the different poses you can do with the Gundam. Really exciting to get back into these. Really excited to start building these things again. I mean, I need to do the video, and here's where it shows you how to put the decals on and everything. Which decals, I'm really going to try to take it slow this time. Back in the day with the decals, I just, that's like the most infuriating part of putting a model together to me, is decaling the model. But really just looking forward to breaking into this thing and getting it all put together. See right there, you can see the, let's see if I can get close to the, you can see the wee little Armoro Ray. If anybody, which I'm sure there are people out there that can paint that little guy, you know, with like a brush with one you know, piece of bristle on it, and painstakingly look through the, wow, I guess I didn't, is that the, geez, I guess I didn't realize how small this thing actually was. Like, here's the helmet pieces. There's the fins for the helmet. Like, this thing's going to be tiny. Is that, yeah. Wow. It's going to take a lot of meticulous work to put this little guy together. That's kind of the thing, too. You know, people think, like, the high grades and the small 1/144th scale ones are easier. And in a lot of ways they are because of the less pieces that you have. But they're so tiny, like, in some regards, like a perfect grade would probably be almost easier to deal with than this little guy. Especially, like, that little piece right there, you know. It's going to be really interesting to put this together. And I'm thinking I need to go out and buy, like, an X-Acto knife or a hobby knife or something, because there is a tendency when you break these off of the runners that you get some flashing, and you kind of want to scrape that off. But it's easy. It's better just to use a hobby knife and just remove them from the runners that way, or like a very small like scissors to cut that plastic. But anyway, yeah, really looking forward to starting this and getting this little guy together. I'm sitting here looking at like the beam sabers and the blades there. Oh my god, it's gonna be so much fun. But anyway, that is it for this part. I think I'm just going to film as I go and sort of mash it all together, and we'll see. You know, when I get the feel the need to make another video on my progress on it. Maybe once I get the internal skeleton together, I'll, you know, make another video and show it. But I don't think I'm going to do one where I show you each individual little piece going together, because that would just be, oh my goodness. But anyway, that is it for this part, and we'll see where we go from here. So anyway, I guess, you know, keep watching. I never know how to end these transitions. It's weird to do that, but here's the next part. Wow. So back to part 2 here, I guess we'll call it. I've already had my first bit of frustration, and got one of these bad boys to take off the flashings, and already got myself with it. But I already had one of the big sort of annoyances. Here we go. This is how small the thing is, putting the foot together. And I got another one of the feet here before I start working on it. One of the annoyances is, as you can see here on the back, you have those 2 prongs sticking out. And I thought to myself, okay, obviously a piece that has 2 holes will fit into there. Well, the piece that's supposed to fit on the back is right here. And as you can see, there are 2 prongs in there. What you have to do, and this is ridiculous to me, I don't know why this is, this little, like the 2 prongs and then this square piece back here, you actually have to pry it out of the back of the foot. Really difficult, because with the foot here, this plastic is actually very flexible. And as you can see there, I kind of already stressed the plastic a little bit. Luckily it didn't snap, or otherwise I would have just lost my mind. Yeah, first of many annoyances and injuries, so maybe I'll make another part to this as I get more of it together. But that was just, like, I'm not even looking forward tearing that off there. But now I know I have to do it. I can use the X-Acto knife to kind of get in there and wedge it out. But just kind of like, it's kind of one of those what the fuck type of things. But anyway, upwards and onwards. Okay, so I got one of the feet completely together here. And I guess I didn't really talk about just how awesome these are. As you can see here, you have motion in the back of the heel, and you also have motion in the toe. And the thing of it is, this is all, I should have showed it to you beforehand. Crap, it's falling apart now. That's one of the things I read about the real grades too, is that there's so many pieces and that they're so small, sometimes things don't hold together very well. The foot, the base of the foot, that you see you see just the thrusters underneath the red here, is all one piece, and it has that motion already built in. So it's really kind of an awesome thing. The sort of ankle guard here, I have it put together, but in kind of, pieces here. And as you can see, you have this white front shield, and inside you have the two gray pieces that are holding the sort of joint there. And this is a separate piece on top. So you can kind of see how meticulously detailed this thing is. And if you look, like a lot of times when you get the high grades, and I'm losing light so I might stop making videos, but as you can see there, you can see the gray piece underneath. And that's kind of one of the big problems that a lot of people have with the high grades, is that unless you're willing to paint them, they don't often look that great. They just look like little plastic model kits, which of course they are. But this, I mean, this foot has, let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pieces, roughly. I might have missed a piece here or there. But to make that foot is 13 pieces alone. And on this scale, you can kind of see the challenge with it. And, I mean, sometimes you can see kind of the foot separating a little bit here and there. It's going to be really interesting to see how well this thing holds together once it's absolutely finished, because that might be I can already see where, like, this is not really holding together very well, because I don't know if you can see there, probably not because of the lighting, but let's see if I can take it off. Those prongs there are not actually, it looks like the side is a little pushed in, but those prongs aren't as wide as this part is here. So I'm going to have to do some work with it, and I've read reviews that say, you got to do just a little bit of work with it to try to get it to hold together perfectly, and even then pieces still fall off these things. It's not an exact science, you know what I mean? And sometimes people say, posing these things can prove to be a challenge sometimes. So it's going to be interesting to see, once it's all together, what is going to happen. But I think I might work on the legs. This is the internal piece for the leg that you attach all the outer armor to. And there goes the text messages again. I might finish the legs and then call it a night, so we'll see how long the light lasts. But anyway, I actually thought of something real quick. I have two pieces of the leg here, and as you can see, one I've kind of already manipulated some stuff. But this is a piece as it comes right off the grid, and as you can see here, it has this built-in motion in it already. And this part right here, you can see that little bit of that gate right in between there. You actually remove that, and on this piece you have a little bit of motion there as well. So I just wanted to kind of show that real quick, that the internal mechanics that are at play here. I mean, for a kit this size, that is a lot of detail to have in a kit this size, so I just wanted to show that off real quick. Okay, back for sort of the last part of the video in this area of the Gundam. I have a leg finished, but before I show you the finished leg, I do want to show you the, let's see if I can get it to work here without the, okay. So here is the one piece of the leg that forms the frame of the leg. Now, when you get these things off, I'm losing light. When you get these things off of the runner, it's kind of tricky for you because you think it's all just one piece, but actually these pieces are hinged So that forms the entire leg that bends, and it has the ball joint for the hip and then a ball joint down here for the foot. And you put all of these little pieces on here, which I had to go get a hemostat that I had from work to pick up some of these pieces, because you just don't believe, like, I don't know, that is a piece right there, and I'll show you where this thing goes. But the smallest piece is right here that I've seen so far. There's my fingertip, just to kind of show you the difference. And when you put the entire leg together, this is what you get. And as you can see there's all those different shades of white. All those are different pieces. But the first piece I showed you is actually right here. That's that square that I held up. And then right here, you can kind of see the vents that form that triangle piece in the kneecap. But the only problem with this is whenever you, and I've read this as well, whenever you move the leg, these armor pieces do separate, because these are separate pieces of armor. But God, just the detail in that leg alone. And there you can see kind of the problem. Do I have the foot all the way pushed in? Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe I need to push it. Nope, it's all the way down in there. You can kind of see the seams in the foot a little bit. Looking back, I do have, I mean, that's kind of all the pieces. But, yeah, this thing is just ridiculous. And coming to the end of doing the first leg, I mean, this took me probably about, let's see, what time is it, 7:30. This took me probably about 2 hours to do, just this leg and this foot. I got the pieces out for the next leg, so the next leg will go relatively quickly, because as I was cutting out one leg's piece, I cut out the other as well. But as you can see here, you can, I mean, the kneecap bends almost 180 degrees. Oh, see, there's the problem. Those pieces just kind of come off there. You can glue them in if you want, but it's really just kind of, it's kind of the pieces rubbing against each other, just kind of push it off. So you can't go down too far on the knee. But man, just looking at this and the different colors of white, the different colors in the armor plating, really just kind of makes it look more real in a lot of ways, because you're just, it's just, you know, if this was all one big machine, you would kind of see the difference in the plating, a lot like the Aztecing on the USS Enterprise in Star Trek. You can see the individual panels that make up the hull of the ship. So it does add some nice realism to it. I do kind of want to go in with like a very, I have to find like the finest tip I can. See, I can't even pick up the lines on the armor there. But I think I would want to go in and kind of color in the panel lines. I'm going to think about that, because you can really screw things up once you get to this level. And I probably, if I was going to do it, I probably should have done it before putting it all together. You know, it's easier to paint when you can hold them with the hemostat and very easily just apply the paints to it. But just getting this far into it, I can't wait to see this thing completed. So I probably won't do another video until I start working on the torso, because, you know, the other leg is going to look exactly like this. But even like these little pieces right here, they just clip on, but they add so much that it's all, you know, a different piece of from this piece. You know, the high grades kind of all are very easy to put together, but the real grades, this is, you know, proving to be quite a challenge. Not really a challenge, I would say, but more of just, you know, meticulous work, trying to get all the flashing off, trying to get these tiny pieces with these big sausage fingers together is a real challenge. So, yeah. So I guess we'll come back when I start working on the torso, which will probably be sometime tomorrow night, because I think after I get the other leg together, I'm going to call it quits and play some Persona. But just thought I'd show off the finished leg for the RX-78-2. Hey everyone, back to the next part. As you can see here, I actually do have a good portion of it completed and decaled, and I'm really happy with how the bottom torso turned out, except for one thing. The piece that makes up the core block, if you decide to use the core block, you can't really see down in there, but there's these two pegs. You can see one there, and then there's one missing. Here's the other holes that they come out of, and this is all one piece when it's together on the grid. And what you have to do is pull these apart to put everything, you know, together around it and all that stuff. Problem is, when I pulled it apart, it pulled one of those pegs out. So hopefully, as I set this thing down in there, let's see here. Hopefully, it's going to have some good stability together, which I think it will be. I mean, this is not something I'm going to play with. It's just going to be something I put in poses every now and then for display purposes. But another thing that I'm not too keen on with this model, you can barely see them in there. Decaling those fins in there is just absolutely awful using the stickers. So I think if I ever, I have another kit coming, and depending on how I want its coloring to look, those fins I might just spray paint gold and hope for the best. But yeah, looking at this right here, it's really coming together nicely. I'm actually going to stop because I've pretty much shredded my thumb with that damn X-Acto knife. But made some good progress on it tonight, and we'll probably work a little bit on it tomorrow. But we also have some things planned for tomorrow. But then again, by the time this video is done, and well, most definitely by the time this video is done and posted, what we're going to be doing tomorrow night is going to be old news anyway. But just thought I'd show you the progress I've made so far on this. It's coming together nicely, and I mean, I'm just really pleased with the coloring and everything on the model, because I was really worried that I was going to have to do some painting, because God, they look so bright on the screen there, but really they're kind of more of a muted, realistic color instead of being like the anime really bright reds and things like that. But I mean, a lot of these decals that are on here, oh, and these are another decals I'm not really too fond of. I just have a feeling, I think they already are, that these are stickers back here, and I really wish they would have just, like, I don't know, somehow made, you know, this a more of a different piece and have that actually be an actual gold piece. But then again, this model is so crazy, I don't know how they would do that. But I have a fear that these gold stickers are going to come off eventually. But even they give you these little cap stickers here to put over the joints to make those little circles there pop. But I mean, you can see these wee little tiny ones here. Probably the worst ones to put on were this one right above the square there. They're just teeny tiny. And these ones down here on the feet, for some reason, gave me a little bit of a fit, too. But other than that, I'm really actually getting better at doing the decaling, except for these vents. These vents suck. But the work continues. And, like I said, I do have another one going. So, if you guys like this video, maybe I'll film one for the next one, too. Although it probably won't be as extensive as this, because this is getting kind of crazy. But, yeah, I'll probably finish up work. Let's see what's next. The backpack is next, and then we go into the arms. I think the head is the last thing, so yeah, just going to keep on working. Hey everyone, welcome back. I guess it is kind of a welcome back. Through the miracle of editing, you are here in a few seconds, but this has been about a week since the last filming for this little project. And I've just kind of been slacking on working on this. A lot of things been going on, been busy with work. But I finally have this beast. Son of a bitch. Finally have this beast together, and while I really like everything about it, I still need to do some decaling and stuff. There are some issues I have with this particular real grade, but they're not things. They're things that have been stated in various reviews of these real grades. And finally, here's what we have all put together. Still need to do decaling on the arms and the helmet. But as you can see there, just packed with detail. The arms here are completely posable. Now, the thing of it is when you move this thing around a lot, and this has been a problem with Gundams quite a bit. I remember having this problem way back in the day. But here's the issue. These are not toys. These are models that you pose and you kind of leave in positions. You really shouldn't play with them as toys. So when you move these guys around, a lot of the pieces will start to separate, especially up here in the shoulder guard. These little pieces of armor on the arm, they're basically, I mean, they look like they're on there, really fixed on there, but essentially they are just wrapped around the arm piece there. So, you know, every time you kind of put these in a new position, these boosters fall off all the time. I'm thinking actually about just super gluing them onto the little balls on there, because that's not really the articulation point. Basically, anytime you're dealing with these little ball joints, be prepared for the piece to fall off, especially here on the skirt. They just don't click in. I wish there was more of a click into the ball joint, the socket with the ball, than what it is. It just kind of rests in there, and then whenever you, of course I'm not going to be able to do this now, but whenever you move the leg, see, even the leg has a tendency to fall off. So, I mean, let's just get it straight. These are model kits. These are not toys. These are, especially the real grades, are not something that little kids should have, because, you know, the pieces just kind of fall off and things like that. But other than that, I really enjoy the build quality there. The painting is fine. Didn't have to do any painting on it. Aside from, the only thing, let me see if I can find a seam here on the arm. See if you can kind of see. You can kind of see there under the armpit where the runner attaches, and even if you clip them off and kind of scrape them with the X-Acto knife, you still get that light blue, like, overstretched plastic look. So, you know, for you guys out there who are more adept at painting these things are not a bad idea, because it does get rid of that sort of the flashing. These stickers here in the chest are absolutely horrible, and I don't think I'll ever put them in again. I might do one more video on this after I get all the decals on, and maybe like the shield and the gun finished. The core fighter, I will build, but I don't know if I'll show it in the video. Maybe I'll make like a quick thing at the very end when I'm done. But I kind of really want to get this video up, because there's other videos I want to film, and I have all this Gundam stuff on my iPad, and it's just kind of filling it up. But anyway, I really enjoyed building this, so much so that, like, not even when I was done, I went out and picked up this, which the Mark II is actually my favorite Gundam. There's just something about the simplicity of the design, the bulkiness of the design that I like. I don't know, so I'm really kind of excited to put this real grade together. But, you know, yeah, I like the real grades, because especially here living in this apartment, I don't have a lot of space for, like, high grades, or not high grades, master grades, or especially perfect grades. Perfect grades are huge. So these, I mean, basically you're getting a somewhat of a hybrid between a master grade and a perfect grade at a high grade scale. So, yeah, a lot of bang for your buck here. This thing, just getting this far, of course I still have decaling to do, I have the core fighter to build, I have the weapons to assemble and decal all that as well. Just getting the figure itself and the limited decaling that I did on the lower half of the body, that's about 10 hours. So I remember, you know, being able to knock out like a high grade in a few hours, and master grades took a little bit longer. This takes a little bit longer than a master grade, just because you're dealing with small parts, and especially this one, since it was the first real grade, the pieces don't fit together particularly well. Every time you move it, something falls off. But once you get that pose that you want it in, because this thing is extremely posable, you just kind of leave it there and it's fine. I've heard that, I think with the Mark II, they fixed a lot of the issues, because this is, if I remember correctly, It says somewhere here on the box. Oh, it's right here. It's the 8th one in the series. So I think by the time they get around to the Mark II, they fix a lot of the problems. And you can even kind of tell there's a lot of detailing that I kind of miss in this real grade. But you can see here, the Mark II does have like the hydraulics in the legs. Let's see if it shows. There's like cables that you have to put into the back of the legs. So it's going to be a lot more intricate, I guess. I looked through the runners, and it seems pretty standard stuff. I think that they improved the frame itself, because you actually, in this kit, you kind of build it as it went. You built like the leg frame, and then you put the leg armor on and stuff like that. And this one, you completely build the frame first, and then you put the armor around it, which is probably, you know, part of the movable frame idea behind the Mark II, which if you're into Gundam, you know that this one, the movable frame aspect of it is a big deal. But yeah, just kind of give you guys a little update here. This has already turned into a 7-minute video of me rambling about this thing. But I'll probably do a short one to show you guys sort of the finished product, and we'll call it a quits on the RX-78-2. So anyway, that is it for this part. We'll see you next time. Alright, here we are at the final part. I have everything decaled but the core fighter. So I'll go through, let me move this here for a second, and just kind of show you everything you get with this. So here is the final Gundam. The real grade all put together, ready to go. And I didn't do a perfect job with the decals, but a lot of these decals are ridiculous. In fact, there's ones that are supposed to go on the back of the hand that are just tiny, and I mean tiny. So tiny, in fact, that one, as I was trying to put it on the back of the hand, it flicked off and stuck to my skin. And I never noticed it, and it went through like 2 showers. And one day at work, I was just looking at my arm, and I was like, what is that? And I looked at it real close, and I saw the wording, and I was like, oh crap, it's that sticker. Kind of a crazy little thing. But, you know, some of the stickers I just decided not to put on because they are so teeny tiny. But the amount of articulation, and I've kind of harped on this in the entire video, is pretty ridiculous. The amount of detail, especially, let me just take off the shield here. I guess I'm going to stand up in that pose. The back of the shield, you can see there you got 2 beam sabers, you got the gun, the handle goes up and down the shield so you can hold it in different places. I still need to finish decaling the gun as well. As you can see, I kind of did a shit job there, but it's just getting to like the end, and I just don't want to decal anymore. But anyway, you also have the Hyper Bazooka here. Really awesome detail. I love how they crafted all these in different colors. So you can kind of see through the grill there. You can kind of see the individual mortars in the bazooka. Just really great stuff. Peg here to attach it to the back so that the Gundam is carrying the Hyper Bazooka with them. Oh, I guess I should show you these hands. And these are like one of the last things you put together. I was talking about how I kind of wanted hands that were kind of like a perfect grade, how each individual finger is articulated. And this is kind of how they solved it for the real grade. These 3 digits are all put together. The index finger is separated, and it does have an extra, I don't know if it'll show there, but I don't know how to do it without in camera, but it does have like an extra point of articulation in the finger, and the thumb does as well. So it's pretty ridiculous on this, you know, high grade sized Gundam, how much detail, articulation, and how much they just really packed into it. And in a lot of ways, I think these are probably a little bit more impressive than a perfect grade, because a perfect grade is of course huge, and it's easy to put those points of articulation in there. But you know, on these smaller scale things, it's really kind of an engineering feat to see all of that come together and have it be a really well-crafted model. You will not be, like, this is not for the kiddies. You can't really play with this because any major motion, quick motion pieces kind of do fall off a little bit. But I hear that that gets better with the other models. But anyway, that is it for this video. I've been really dragging my feet on getting this video up, and I finally just wanted to put a fork in it, call it done. Let me show you the core fighter here real quick. As you can see here, I mean, it's just a teeny tiny little thing. The landing gear are removable, but I'm not going to remove them because it's kind of a pain to get back in. But the core fighter does transform into the core block. I can't do it because I have the landing gear out all the way. But you can put the core block inside the actual Gundam itself. It will fit. So that's a really awesome piece of detail. This cockpit actually does lift up there. So I mean, it's ridiculous on this scale. Just how much detail is packed into this thing. These run late 20s, early 30s. Some of the newer real grades are a bit more expensive, but if you are into Gundam models, I used to be really into Gundam models. I mean, even look there on the head, all the detail. Usually the heads are like 3 pieces that you kind of slap together. This is, I don't even know how many pieces are in that head to make all that detail up. But yeah, if you're looking for a kind of a fun challenge, this thing probably took me upwards of 14 hours to build from start to finish. And even then, here as I said in this video, I'm not completely done yet. But yeah, a lot of fun. Some frustration every now and then, but totally worth it. If you're a fan of the Gundam models and you have not tried a real grade yet, I definitely recommend picking up a real grade to try out. But anyway, that is it for this video. Kind of an experiment to see if you guys would want to see more of this stuff. I know in the past I used to do a lot more videos outside the realm of video games, and here recently I've been kind of slacking off on that, kind of keeping it focused on video games. But if you guys want to see more of these other interest videos, let me know and I'll attempt to do them. But that is it for this. So once again, this was the RX-78-2 real grade. And see, there we go. That's exactly what I'm telling you. This stuff will fall off. So once you get them in their pose, just kind of keep them there. These side pieces of the skirt are absolutely dreadful to get back on. You actually have to take off the leg and reattach them. So I'll worry about that a little bit later. But anyway, that is it for this guy. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.